You think being nice is your strength. You think the way you treat people, the way you smile through discomfort, the way you never cause problems is something to be proud of. But what if the habits you believe make you a good person are the exact habits slowly erasing you from the room? This isn't about becoming cold. This isn't about becoming someone who doesn't care. This is about the quiet, invisible ways your niceness is costing you something you can't afford to lose. Your presence, your power, your sense of self. Stay with me, because by the end of this, something is going to shift inside you. There's a student right now, probably someone a lot like you, who wakes up every morning with the best intentions, works hard, stays helpful, never complains, never pushes back, always available, always accommodating. And somehow, despite all of that, they feel invisible. They feel like people walk around them instead of toward them. They feel like no matter how much they give, they're never quite respected the way they deserve to be. That feeling has a name, and it's not a character flaw. It's a pattern, and patterns can be broken. The first habit that's quietly making you look weak is shrinking yourself in conversation. You know exactly what this looks like. Someone shares an opinion, and instead of responding with your own truth, you soften it. You say things like, "Yeah, that makes sense," even when it doesn't. You add, "I don't know," before every idea, as if your thoughts need a disclaimer. You trail off mid-sentence because you're already predicting that no one is interested. You've been doing this so long, it doesn't even feel like a choice anymore. It feels like just who you are. But it's not who you are. It's what fear built. Every time you shrink in conversation, you teach the people around you what to expect from you. Nothing. You teach them that your words don't carry weight, that your presence can be talked over, interrupted, or ignored. And the worst part is, they won't even realize they're doing it, because you've trained them. The ancient philosophers understood that silence can be power, but shrinking is surrender. There's a difference between choosing your words carefully and erasing them before they leave your mouth. One is discipline. The other is disappearance. Start speaking like your words matter, because they do. The second habit is responding to every message the moment it arrives. Your phone lights up and your hand moves before your brain does. It doesn't matter what you were doing, what you were thinking, what momentum you were building. You stop. You respond. Immediately. Every time. You think this makes you reliable, caring, present, and maybe once it did. But now it's broadcasting something else entirely. It's telling everyone around you that whatever they want will always come before whatever you're doing. Availability without boundaries doesn't signal care. It signals that you have no life of your own worth protecting. Think about the people you respect most. Do they respond instantly every time? Or do they respond when they're ready, when they're present, when they've actually had time to think? There's a reason we trust people who make us wait a little. Not because waiting is a game, but because it signals that their time has value. And if their time has value, their attention has value. And if their attention has value, so does their opinion of you. Your phone is not an emergency. Your focus is. Protect it like your future depends on it, because it does. The third habit is laughing at things that aren't funny to make people comfortable. You're in a group. Someone says something that doesn't sit right. Maybe it's at your expense. Maybe it's dismissive. Maybe it's just wrong. And you laugh. Not because it's funny, but because the silence felt too heavy to carry, because disagreeing felt too risky, because making someone else comfortable was easier than honoring your own reaction. And in that moment, something small dies inside you. Not dramatically, not loudly, quietly, like a door closing in an empty house. Every forced laugh is a vote against yourself. Every time you perform amusement you don't feel, you're signaling to others and to yourself that your real reactions are less important than keeping the peace. And over time, people stop seeing you as someone with depth. They see you as someone who fills the room with noise, not someone who fills it with presence. Real confidence doesn't perform. It simply is. The fourth habit is constantly explaining and over-justifying your choices. You canceled plans. You said no to something. You chose to spend a Saturday alone instead of at an event you didn't want to attend. And instead of simply stating your decision, you spend 10 minutes building a legal case for why it was acceptable. I would have come, but I had this thing, and I wasn't feeling great. And I know I said I would try, but the timing just wasn't right, and I'm really sorry. Stop. Listen to yourself. You are not on trial. Your life is not a courtroom. The moment you over-explain, you invite people to cross-examine you. Every reason you give becomes a problem they can solve. Every excuse becomes a weakness they can push against. You hand them the tools to dismantle your own decision. And when they push back, and they will, you've already lost the ground you were standing on. Strong people don't defend their boundaries. They hold them. A simple no is not cruelty. It is clarity. And clarity commands respect in a way that lengthy justifications never will. The fifth habit is comparing your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. You open the app, you see the highlight reel, the results, The success? The polished version of someone else's journey, edited down to its best moments, filtered through the most flattering light. And you look at where you are, at the messy middle, the uncertainty, the slow progress, and you decide it means something's wrong with you. It doesn't. But here's what the comparison is doing beneath the surface. It's pulling your focus off your own work. Every minute you spend measuring yourself against someone else is a minute you are not building, not practicing, not improving. You cannot run your race while watching everyone else's. You will stumble. Every time. The people who are actually ahead of you are not watching you. They're working. That's why they're ahead. Get off the scoreboard. Get back to the work. The sixth habit is being endlessly agreeable to avoid any form of conflict. You agree when you disagree. You nod when you want to push back. You go with the group decision even when you know a better one. You make yourself invisible in moments where your perspective could have changed the outcome. Because conflict feels dangerous. Because disagreement feels like rejection. Because being liked feels safer than being real. But here's what that relentless agreeableness is costing you. You are becoming someone no one can fully trust. Not because you're dishonest, but because you're unreadable. When you agree with everything, your agreement means nothing. When you never push back, your support carries no weight. You become background noise. Wallpaper, present in the room, but absent from what matters. Real relationships, real respect, real connection. They are built on friction, not cruelty, not aggression, friction. The kind that happens when two real people with real thoughts actually meet each other honestly. You are allowed to disagree. You are allowed to have a perspective that challenges the room. That is not weakness dressed up as boldness. That is actually just being a person, a whole, full, grounded person. And here is what happens when you finally stop all of this. At first, people will feel the change before they can name it. Something about you will feel different, firmer, less predictable, less immediately accommodating. And some people won't like it. They'll press you. They'll call you difficult. They'll say you've changed, as if change is something to apologize for. Let them. Because the people who respected the old version of you, the one that shrunk and laughed on cue, then apologized for breathing, those people were not respecting you. They were depending on your smallness. And the moment you refuse to be small, they panic. But the people who see you grow and stay, those are the ones worth having. You are not here to make everyone comfortable. You are not here to be everyone's yes. You are not here to smooth every edge and fill every silence and soften every truth until there is nothing left of you at all. You are here to become something. Not louder, not colder, not harder. Just more fully, more honestly, more completely yourself. The work is not easy. It's daily. It's quiet. It doesn't always look like progress from the outside. But inside, something is building. A kind of steadiness. A kind of groundedness, a kind of inner authority that no one handed you and no one can take. Stop shrinking, stop performing, stop justifying, stop comparing, stop disappearing into agreement just to avoid the discomfort of being real. Start showing up the way you actually are, sharp, thoughtful, grounded, present. Because the world doesn't need another person who makes everyone comfortable, it needs you, fully, finally, now.